Hi, I'm Kitty Feldy. Last week we discussed Invisible by Christina Diaz Gonzalez. This week we continue the conversation with the writer. Christina, as a child of immigrants, I'm sure you pleased your parents by going to college and even law school. But how did you convince them that being a writer was a good career choice?
I have pretty amazing parents, and the fact that I didn't pursue the dream of being a writer wasn't on their shoulders. It was probably actually just one of those things of if you don't see it, you can't be it. I just never saw it. When I wanted to start writing, my parents were so incredibly supportive. My father especially has always been probably the biggest reader. And he loved books, and both of them could not be more proud. Before any of my stories were ever published, my parents were all in. They would just tell me, you keep writing. They helped make dinner. I was under a very tight deadline. And so my parents were like, we'll pick up the kids from summer camp, whatever it took. It was a family effort to get me to complete the story and be able to finish the book.
You write in English and Spanish both. Which language do you think in?
I primarily think in English. I am most comfortable writing in English because my education is in English. So I primarily think in English. That being said, if I'm with someone who is also Spanish speaking, during our conversation, Spanish words will come in and out, and I don't have to think about which language I want to speak in. It just flows. But it's almost like a switch. I can very easily turn the switch and now be thinking in Spanish and speaking in Spanish without missing a beat, or switch it back to English.
There are language nuances in Spanish. Your background is Cuban-American, but characters in Invisible come from different Spanish-speaking countries. How did you tackle those nuances?
When I was writing Invisible, I made sure to have friends who are Venezuelan, who are Dominican, who are Mexican, read it for the nuances. And even when they did the audiobook, I was very specific with the audiobook because Mexican Spanish sounds, even if it's the same exact words, the cadence, the emphasis on certain words, the accents are different when you go from Mexican Spanish to Dominican to Puerto Rican to Cuban. And someone who is Spanish speaking and of one particular country will quickly pick up if someone is not being authentic. And so I made sure, especially in the audiobook, that it was as authentic as possible. And even in the writing, there are little nuances, little phrases, slang that each character uses that's particular to that country, to people from that type of background. So I wanted to make sure.
Thanks, Christina. We have interviews with dozens of other writers at our website, bookclubforkids.org, on our Writers on Writing page. And if you're looking for reading tips to turn your reluctant reader into a lifelong book lover, sign up for our newsletter. It's free. Every few weeks, you'll be getting a helpful tip in your email box. And you can sign up at the website, bookclubforkids.org. I'm Kitty Feldy. Thanks so much for listening.